Well, hi everyone. Here's a quick video to go along with my explanation of how to do or how to make use of QR codes. So I'm just going to show you quickly how to use a QR code generator and so that you can actually see how it works. So I have the explanation for using QR codes here on our TLLP website, and it kind of goes through it in words. But a QR code stands for a quick response code. They look like this. It's a graphic that a QR reader will turn into text. You'll see them in advertisements and things like that. Kids sometimes know how to use them and sometimes they don't. But I think they have a pretty good application in education. And I explain that up here. In our project, one of the things we found is that even if we used Bitly or another site to shorten our URLs, and I recommend Bitly. I have a Bitly account, and one of the great things about a Bitly account is that you have the ability to change the name of something so it makes sense. So for example, if we had an exit survey for our students to use, I changed it to Exit Cote. But even still, students, especially our applied students, had a really hard time getting the URLs correct because when you type them in, it depends on whether there's a capital letter or not. So we found that a QR code generator worked really well to solve that problem. And they're kind of neat. I have some up in my classroom to take students immediately to my class website or something else. They stay up there all the time. And this little kind of graphic that's generated is read by a QR code reader. You need to find a QR code reader and download that app for whatever smart device you're using. The App Store, if you're using Apple, has a whole bunch of them. The one that I use now, I'm not that keen on it, the one I use personally, because it has some advertisements in it now, so it has some dumb little stuff at the bottom. But really, it doesn't matter which one you use, the outcome will be the same. And then you need a smart device that has a camera, because the camera is what the app uses to read this image. So like I say, go to any, if you're using like a Google product, Google has those for sale in their app stores as well. I think you can use a QR code reader even if you have a camera on your laptop, because you can get them for Google Chrome and that sort of thing. But most students will have some kind of a smart device, and so they can follow these codes. So what you do is, if you want to direct students to a certain spot, you create this code, and then you either put it on a handout or you put it on a presentation, and if it's really big, all you have to do is stand back so that your camera takes the whole image. So what I'm going to do, if you want to test it out, this QR code takes you to the main page of our website. I have one on the back of the business cards that you get, that I'll offer you if you come to one of my presentations, so that you can always find this main website. So I think they're kind of useful. And I've also heard of people doing sort of treasure hunts or literary journeys where the students walk around a room and you have the QR codes posted around the room, and it takes them to different websites like Google Maps, and say, because I'm an English teacher, you know, the hometown of Margaret Atwood, and the website that shows, you know, what book she's written. And, you know, if you were doing Robertson Davies, you could have photographs taken from Thamesville and have them do a tour of the town from one of his books, something like that. So there's all kinds of possibilities with these. But just quickly, this is how you do it. So I have my Google Drive open, and I've done a handout that I'm going to give as an example of a presentation we're doing. Every Google Doc has a URL. So you go up to the URL bar and you just copy that. You can right click to choose copy, or you can use Command C if you like shortcuts, if you have a Mac, or I think it's Control C if you have a PC. So I copy that, and then I go to a QR code generator website. This is the one I always use because it's nice and clean. You can see that I've been looking at Etsy for geeky literature related jewelry, so they raise money by having ads here. And so what you do is you take your URL and you enter or paste that URL into your this spot, and it generates the QR code. This QR code, if you want to test it with your smartphone, will take you directly to this Google document that I'll want to share. Now, this Google document I have shared as long as you have the link. So if you follow the QR code, you're going to be able to follow this because it's the same as a link. It works the same way. So what you can do is, I always test it with my phone, and you can scan the QR code right on your computer as well. It doesn't have to be in a print copy. And then I click save, and you save the file name. I always use PGNs. The other ones are more if you're actually doing things with a graphic designer or something like that. So I put in a file name, and in this case it's the Integrated Technology handout. So I might put Integrated Technology and Education underscore WEC DSB underscore 2014 and then QR. And then that will let me know what it's for and what the QR code is for, and you save it. Now for a Mac, it will, wherever you save things is where you'll find it. For Google on my Mac, it comes up in the bottom, and I can click it open and it shows up in my preview. Now if you have a PC, it will show up wherever it is you download it. Now all you really have to do is just go to edit and copy the image, and this will copy this image. I use Command A for copy all. And now that image is ready for you to use. So you can copy this image and put it wherever you want to put it. You could open up a Google document, a new Google document, and put it in there and share that Google document with your class if you wanted to do that. It's just a matter of either pasting it in or inserting it by uploading it, because you can upload the image if you know where it's saved. You can cut and paste it in there, and there is your image. You could print it out, you could share it. If you had a shared folder with your class, you could share it with the class and just have them go to that. So I might call this the QR code and then put the date, or the QR code for the summit for right now, and it's there. You could print it out. You can make it larger, and if you want to make it larger without distorting it, you just hold the Shift key and then you can pull it out and make it larger. So I have some of these posted in my classroom with my class website. Students don't use it all the time, but I do see them once I explain them, taking a look if they're doing group work and they need a presentation or something like that. You could put it in a presentation and project it up in a Google presentation or a PowerPoint and have students walk up and find the website from there. So this QR code generator, if you Google QR code generators, there are quite a number of them. I like that one just because it's kind of clean and simple, but the first one here, I've used the one that comes up when you Google it first, and it works great. You can change the colors of them. Here it allows you to download it, print it, or email it. You can order a stamp with a QR code on it, and there's all kinds of data that you can direct people to using a QR code. So if you take a look with this QR code generator, it can remind you of what you can do. You can put a QR code to a YouTube video. You can put a QR code to Google Maps or to Twitter, to Facebook, even plain text. So if you have a favorite saying that you want students to take a look at, you can put that in a QR code. A telephone number, all of these things. So you can choose what it is you want to generate the code. I usually just use a website, sometimes a YouTube video. Like I say, I don't use them all the time, but there are times when they come in really handy. So if you are interested in using QR codes, I'm sure there are many other ways to use them than what I've talked about. The instructions for using a QR code are on our TLLP website. There's a link to that website through my own Leanna Cote website. You can always email me or BBS me and I can give you that information. And then if you're at the presentation, you'll get a card that can take you to this website. But it's just a quick way to show you how you can generate these yourself. Now you can share it. You see there are other options as well. You can make it a different size, customize the size, take out the margin. You can print it where it is. So you can add all of these interesting things. You could do a contact where you have a URL to your My Tools to Go email if you want students to share something with you there. So like I say, I hope you'll explore using these, and if you come up with something really great, please let me know, because I'd love to try it out. I think that there's a lot more potential with these QR codes that I'm really tapping into. All right, thanks very much.